Let's start with what they write. They write this, now it's a long ass, like 1,000-word article about empowerment and this and that, and then the picture's like, my butt.
Yeah.
What's up and welcome to the zoo. I'm with my peeps over here, AK, Nikki P, and me, Umberto G. What up? What up? All right, we got a really good conversation to have right now on today's Big Deal. Okay, so the bane of my existence, Instagram. Something that it took me a long time to even join personally, okay? Because I'm like, all right, now we're on this. We're not on Facebook, now we're on this. I can't be on too many, I'm sorry.
You don't even have it under your name, do you? It's like Latin Nation, right? And then
no, why? That's the one I started. Like here, I just started doing the Latin Nation one, so.
You have a burner Instagram.
But then I got mine. No, then I got mine. I'd check it out.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd check it out. But how do you feel about how people present themselves on Instagram? Do you think it's just like fake as hell, or do you think it's a cool insight to people's lives?
It's a manufactured look into people's lives.
Manicured, for sure.
For some people. I like the people that are like, here's my Thanksgiving dinner with a paper plate. I like that realness that I see. But there's so many people I feel like you meet in real life and they're not anything like they are on Instagram. That's baffling to me.
Right.
I'm
What
like,
do you mean?
who are
'Cause
you?
of, like-
Who's the person you're playing?
Like personality-wise or like
Everything.
looks-wise? Just the whole
Both.
package?
The
Okay,
whole
for sure.
package in its entirety. I'm like, who is this person?
What do you
that
mean you don't drink?
you're
You had a mimosa in that pic.
pretending to be. But I feel like there's a lot of that. And they're like, oh no, that's just me on Instagram. I'm like, that's weird to me.
Well, how do you think Instagram has impacted the real world?
Oh, 100%.
How?
Just people always wanting to post. I mean, I kind of do it sometimes. But you know, you go somewhere and you're like, oh, just take a picture of me. But there's people that say like for the gram. Like people do things just for the gram, you know? So yeah.
What kills me is the young girls.
Well, you know, I hate to make this conversation from my end focus a little bit more on the women on Instagram, but I'm triggered.
Why are you triggered?
Let's start with a couple of things. Number one, the whole especially the kind of girls that I know, or the kind of women that I know, a lot of the new agey goddesses, and so they'll write. Let's start with what they write. They write this. Now it's a long ass, like 1,000-word article about empowerment and this and that, and then the picture's like, my butt.
Yeah.
Why are you calling me
Or
out?
what about this? It's like,
Well, look, let's look through things.
God is good.
Yeah. No. It's like, okay, you're just trying to say something like serious and inspiring to validate the fact that you just want to show yourself off in a very sexually suggestive way that nobody forced you to do, and then to put this inspiring quote about like empowerment and all this stuff is like, you know what? Get a hammer, build a house, and be like empowerment, or like I'm running a business, empowerment. That's cool, but it's like you're just posing, and then you're like, oh my God, what can I write to make it myself not look so vain and shallow? Let me just inspire people with some spiritual. Oh man.
And then it's just a Drake quote.
But let me see. Hold on. Okay, let me go on yours. I don't think you do that. I think that you're honest. I think. Let me go on. Okay,
Is there anything you want
I
to
think-
confess to before he pulls it up?
You know what?
Have you had any posts?
No,
recently
I
that
think
you're
she's actually pretty chill on it.
I learned the art of F-it on Instagram.
I love it.
Okay?
F-it? What?
F-it. F-it.
Right.
I'm not the type, honestly, I'm not a model. I don't know how to
No,
post.
this is a real
I'm awkward.
person. Look,
You know what I
I'm
mean?
looking at
Real
this thing. This is a real person. You're cute. And
I have
not
some
everything's a selfie.
You know, I have some selfies in there. I mix it up with the other content. I also misspell a lot, honestly, I will say. And I hate grammar sticklers. I really do. But my thing is, I have a really tiny phone. I had the 5SE for the longest time because, you know, you go out, you put it in your pocket, it never falls out. Okay, that's your baby right there. I have fat thumbs. I'm typing really fast. I'm like, okay, I got my point across, move on. I don't spend time thinking about how does it look, what's the image, how do I want to present myself. It's just like.
Well, going on the spelling thing, when I'm reading some of the, and by the way, there's a lot of guys I know that do it too, that's like, oh, I'm going to make some pouty face, blue steel look, but I got to make sure I write some really long, serious things so it doesn't look like I'm just being vain. And you read it, and I'm astonished that there's no typos or misspelling. So these people are typing it up on like Microsoft Word, because or they're sitting there for half the day, because you know what? First of all, neither of us have fat thumbs. I can't spell right. All my texts, all my messages are misspelled because I'm like, how do you? Everything
you
comes
just
out
want to
wrong.
get it out.
Yeah. Everything comes.
If
It
I
takes
could
so
speak
much
to my
time.
phone and it could type it for me, I'd be so happy.
Everything takes so much time, and I don't have autocorrect because autocorrect always spells something that you don't want.
Roberto.
Yeah. No, link is king, and you know so.
But I have to. I think the guys are getting in on it too. There's so many guys, entrepreneurs, that they just post. The new photo that I see guys doing is just a shot of the legs, and there's a lot of thigh and shorts.
But
and
not their
straight
face?
men. It's their whole body, but it's like a whole thing of getting like the legs and the meaty thighs, which I like as an Instagram
Okay, you're
viewer.
following some different Instagram accounts,
No,
but
they're all straight entrepreneurs. It's so weird.
Oh,
I'm
the
like, what-
entrepreneurs that work out, right? That like have their life
It's like that
Uber
weird, like
together.
just sold $1 million today. I'm like, okay, put your thigh meat away.
So, you know, the thing is, the thing I feel, so one of the things when I go on somebody's Instagram page and it's selfie, but nothing but selfie. See, at least I went on your Instagram page, you broke it up with some group shots, some LATV
And
stuff.
you're working, you're doing stuff.
But it's like, dude, you have 100 pictures of just you pouting. You dog face. There's 100 of them.
Well, you know what? To answer the question
I
you
hate
asked
this
me
person. When I
earlier,
look at an Instagram like that, I'm like, I hate your guts. Sorry.
The need for validation, I think, has been a big
Yeah.
thing. Not just with Instagram, but like with the whole social movement, media movement, you know, and platforms. The need for validation.
Yeah.
If people don't comment, how many people like it? If you share and all that. Even if you're not a business, it's like you're treating yourself like you need to be pushed out,
Yeah.
just liked by the masses, kind of thing.
And that obligation. Look, the reason I'm on Instagram and I even post anything, okay, is because I work on a TV show and there's this expectation that I have to do it.
You have to push
You know, I'm
yourself.
working to be a writer, and I'm telling you, once I sell one of my screenplays and I become like a full-time writer, I will not be posting anything because writers luckily don't have to do that. Actors, hosts, comedians, you know, journalists, they have to like stay relevant, you know.
Right.
But I have like 2 or 3 selfies on my page, and every time I posted that selfie, I'm like, oh God, I don't like the way I feel about me. Look at me. But I feel like I have to do it out of obligation because it's like, dude, you're on TV. Why don't you, you know, right? There. So I have that mixed feeling about it, and like I said, I judge people. Like when I go on somebody's Instagram page and they have a couple of family pics or friends, or maybe a sunset. Breaking up their face and their pouts and their duck faces, you know, that's good. But when someone's just about them, their face, their butt, their body, the whole thing, it's like, dude.
Well, let's talk about this because I feel like I remember when Instagram first came out and what my initial thoughts were about it. So I want to know what your initial thoughts were about it. Maybe if you can remember.
I just got a hold of MySpace. Now I have to.
Yeah.
I barely have a grip on Facebook. Now I have to learn something else. It's too much.
Oh, okay.
There's too many social platforms. It's like, how many? Doesn't anybody work? How does anybody have the time to spend all the, put so much, people put a lot of time into these apps.
Well, I was gonna say, I remember when Instagram first started, I remember it being as like the app for like an artist to like, you know, present themselves and put out their work and more on the photograph kind of like content. Whereas Facebook and Twitter was more like, you know, like written out and that kind of thing. So I always understood it as a platform to, you know, get creative with the photos and that kind of thing.
But don't you think Instagram kind of hurt the photography business?
You think
in
so?
some ways, I think because everybody thinks they're a photographer now.
Oh, okay.
Well,
with, like,
the iPhone, it was good.
You know, you have an LG chocolate, you're not a photographer.
That's funny. Yeah, no, it's crazy. I mean, look, when I first thought of Instagram, I was like, oh, it's just pictures. I can post a picture on Facebook. I've never been big on the social media. I really like from the beginning.
MySpace?
It was like this is added. I was on MySpace, but to me, it's all added homework.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You know, it's like now I have more homework to do. You know, here's what I like Instagram for. I posted the short film that I did with Bruno that aired on Latin Nation, and I put a couple clips on that. That was oh man, I'm satisfied with this. Here's work that I did.
Yeah.
Here's a sketch. Here's something that we worked on and it's funny,
content.
and hopefully you're
authentic to you.
entertained. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, but I still got to put in the
weren't puffing
occasional
chest.
selfie.
I feel like so many, I just feel like so many kids today, like they don't know who they are, and we didn't grow up with social media, so they have a sense of self that's manufactured, and it's not really who they are because they're projecting online.